actually did it.
Oh, die Waffe sieht schon interessant aus. Wow.
The sword to end all swords. Ragnarok.
It's quite something.
I trust you'll take good care of it.
Thank you. Both of you.
So, does this make you pair the greatest craftsman alive, then?
This? Nah. This was just following the footsteps of the greats of old. It'll take more than that to earn us our place in history. But we're up for the challenge. Here.
A list of materials.
Zoltan and I got talking on the long road back from Dravost. We reckon with those items there, we could craft something even better than the Ragnarok. Something worthy of a legendary outlaw like yourself.
That's a weapon I'd like to see. You leave this list with me.
I was hoping you'd say that.
One legend at a time, eh, lads? Before you start on the next, who fancies raising a cup to friendship reforged?
Good idea. No more drinking to forget my past. It's about time I had something to celebrate.
Then tap the kegs! Vulcan's boys are on their way!
Götterdämmerung, hä? Wird eine Weile dauern, bis ich diese Waffe bekomme. Jetzt erstmal. Oder? Habe ich die Materialien?
Trouble with your gear, or...
Höchstwahrscheinlich nicht.
And if it had... So, will it be?
Ja, sagt dieser Kalkum brauche ich einmal noch eine weitere und ein Dunkelstahl, 2 Stück. Primitives Jagdhorn. Einmal.
That it?
Egal.
Fine.
Warte, Ausrüstung muss ich doch hin. Interessant. Die Waffe ist gut. Und sieht auch besser aus.
The stew's awfully thin these days.
Gucken wir mal, was Martha zu sagen hat.
Ah, Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food.
Pflanzen also.
I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As have those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach them. And if you're wondering why you, well, the wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
Natürlich
All
muss er
right.
sich.
Thanks. Wouldn't ask if I didn't have to. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly succulent, but cook 'em right, and they're just about bearable.
I'll take your word for it.
Anyway, Sir Wade'll know what to do with them. And if he don't, well, I'll go up there and show him myself.
I'm sure you will.
Mal gucken, was sollen wir machen? Mit Wade sprechen? Da ist Wade also, hm?
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the... I jest, but they'd long since...
Martha was hoping he... so that they'll be able to fend for them.
That's not a bad... These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we... They know little of freedom, of providing... Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in Britain... Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far. It's about time we all started... Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses.
The horde is closing. They're coming, Sir Wade.
Time it all. I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size.
Now you're out of time.
Precisely.
What if you could...
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die, fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your guardians. What help they are able to...
Ja, die könnten
You're right, my
helfen
lord.
natürlich.
I will... My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter. To serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you. Say what you will. A home is not worth dying for.
But it is worth fighting for.
Oh, Martha ist ja persönlich da.
Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid does. We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home. And if you don't fight to protect what's yours, you'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take everything from you. Everything. Your homes, your freedom, your very lives. So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you? Are you going to accept fate like good little Bran did and die, having never stood up for yourselves? Or will you fight like free men and women?
What are you doing?
All right. Give me a sword. I never dreamt I'd have a home of my own. And now that I have, I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together. For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord Rossfield, my lady, we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. Instead, we will focus purely on defense at first. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square, the perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish them off.
A sound plan, but one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerves to coordinate the retreat. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade, but you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall, that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria!
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
The calm before the storm.
Da sind die.
And here it comes. I will not let this village fall.
Nicht schlecht.
Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
Oh, was ist jetzt?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. Let them finish the job. You stay here too, Sir Wade. Your men need you. I'll go after the Curl. Join me only when Eastpool is won.
If you're sure, my lord. May the Founder protect you.
Okay. Wo ist der Köln nochmal? Da unten irgendwo ist er, ne? Gut. Dann muss ich wohl dahin reiten.
Next one's mine. I might not know what.
Brother. Falsche Taste. So, wie wäre das nochmal damit, ne? Ah, ich glaube, ich habe den gefunden. Oh.
There it is. With me, Torgal.
Oh, das ging aber schnell.
All right. Back to Eastpool.
Lord Rossfield, the Curl, is it?
It's dead.
Thank the Founder for that. And for you, my lord. We were able to eradicate the rest of the Horde. I have guardians posted around the village to keep watch for further attacks, but all seems quiet for now. I hesitate to say it, but I think it might be over.
I think it might.
We did it. We saved Eastpool. Thank you, my friends. Thank you.
No, Sir Wade. It's us who should be thanking you. You brought us together. Showed us what it means to fight for what you hold dear.
We never had nothing to call our own before. We didn't know what it meant to protect it, but now we do. We really do.
Forgive us, Sir Wade. You and your people saved us, and still we doubted you. But there's no doubt in my mind anymore. We're free men now, so we have to start acting like it. We have to fight to protect what's ours, to protect Eastpool.
And we shall. We all shall. Together. This is our home. And if anyone or anything tries to take it away,
they'll have us to answer to.
Come on then. Let's get to work.
This village isn't gonna rebuild itself.
They're not slaves anymore.
no. They're Rosarians. Your father took pity on the bearer's plight, and I believe if he were still with us today, this is what he would have wanted.
I believe you might be right.
I shall remain here, my lord, and do what I can to help rebuild the village. After all, this is my home now too, and I could hardly call myself an Eastpoolian if I didn't pull my weight.
I think you'll find it's Eastpudlian, Sir Wade. But you should be proud all the same. I'll have to pull my weight too. Can't have the rest getting outclassed. Speaking of which, I ought to be getting back.
Can we continue to count on your support, Martha?
Of course, and I'll be counting on yours too. Us Rosarians have got to stick together, haven't we?
Indeed we have.
And Clive, come by the Golden Stables when you get the chance. I ain't paid you for delivering them seeds yet.
All right. I will.
Lord Rossfield, do you remember our very first mission together? Clearing the goblins from the Stillwind marshes?
How could I forget?
There's one sight that I shall never forget. You, facing off against that giant Morble. Not a trace of fear on your face. Since that day, there have been more than a few times when I felt like giving up. When the odds seemed so stacked in the enemy's favor, I thought I may as well just lay down my sword and surrender. But every time, I would think back to the look in your eyes that day and remember what it means to be a shield. Know that whatever trials Eastpool may face, I shall never lose courage. Thanks to you.
So Wade, you have always been a true shield. I know that Eastpool, and indeed all of Rosaria, will be safe in your hands.
Thank you, my lord. I know the rest of the world will be safe in yours.
I'll do my best.
The hero return? It's lucky you came by when not only did my seeds get delivered,
I just did what I...
and it's only... Take it before...
Thank you, Martha.
So, Eastpool's finally and a home to free bear...
Well, it was your idea.
I know that, but I never stopped to think what it would mean. Bearers in charge of themselves, thinking for themselves, though I suppose the rest ain't much different now. You know, bearers living free like that. Loath as I am to recall.
I take it you didn't know.
Well, if you read... In fact, that's He showed up at the stables one day, asking questions about who'd been buying up bearers. Founder knows what he thought I was doing with them. Running a hunt, poking around in their innards. Something awful, anyway. Me, I thought he was a new constable. Thought the game was up. But somehow we both managed to work out what each other was about. And before I knew it, the cheeky arse was rattling on at me about how I was doing it all wrong. After all my hard work. Told me I was giving them relief, but not freedom. That my bearers were still dying as slaves. Got right under my skin, it did. Told him if he didn't like it, he could bugger off and report me to the garrison. And do you know what he did? He smiled. And then he laughed. And then I did the same. We made a pact that day, that whenever one of us was in need, the other would always be there for him.
And you were?
Well, we both wanted the same thing. To make life better for bearers. Just like your dad. Do you know I was born right around the time Elwyn became Archduke? Growing up, I saw how he tried to change things. He certainly didn't lack for ambition, that one.
Indeed. But the loftier one's ambitions, the harder they are to achieve. Which is why those of us who follow in their footsteps need to finish what people like Sid and my father started.
Suppose you're right, aye. And if we don't manage it, there's always them who come after us. Good thing we've got a few half-decent sorts waiting in the wings, eh? It's almost enough to give you a little bit of hope.
Just a little.
Anyway, enough nattering. Better get back to work. Let's see about making everyone some dinner, shall we? The least the folks who saved Eastpool deserve is a hot meal. And you and me ain't gonna save the world on an empty stomach neither.
That sounds like a wonderful idea.
Abgeschlossen. Flammen der Hoffnung Teil 2. Children. Ah, okay. Ein Andenken. Okay, nee, warte, Weltkarte ändern. Wo geht es als nächstes hin? Okay, hier ist noch was.
Come on.
Wieder.
Don't get surrounded. Two down, one to go.
Einer noch. Wiederkunft nach Suche in der Wiederkunft. Wo ist Wiederkunft? Müsste da oben sein dann. Muss ich die Karte einmal öffnen. So, hier ist es. Ich glaube am besten hier rein. Das ist unser Super Schokobo. Ich find's cool. Chocobo Kick!
That's all of them. No one can uncross his toes now.
Ich erledige erstmal alles. Ich muss sagen, mir gefällt dieses Schwert irgendwie voll. Ragnarok. Und die Klinge ist auch noch schwarz.
Those things I said before.
Oh, Clive. What am I to do? My wards and I may soon be without a home.
What's happened?
The High Cardinal has descended from his lofty throne and taken up residence here in Northreach.
The High Cardinal?
Leader of the Council of Elders, second only to his Radiance at the head of the Imperial government. Not that any of those things still exist. Now he goes by his noble title, the Duke of Oriflamme.
And what does he want with Northreach?
He wants to transform it into a military stronghold, a foundation upon which to build a new Sambrek. He's already secured the support of the various army remnants, with promises that they shall be afforded the respect they deserve in his empire. One built on the confiscated property of the people.
He would rob the populace to pay for it.
Believe me, I have used every means of persuasion to discourage him from this folly. But for whatever reason, he will not listen to me.
What does Captain Philippe make of this? When the town was under attack, it was him the soldiers rallied around. Couldn't he use that influence again?
How? By speaking out against one of the most powerful men in Sambrek. A man whose stated aim is to revive the empire Philippe's comrades swore to serve, and to improve the soldiers' lot within it. The captain can offer them a regular supply of gruel and an occasional trip to the Vale to help them forget the terrors they face each day. The Duke offers them a vision of strength and safety. Now, any attempt to incite mutiny would cost Philippe the support of his men, if it did not cost him his life. But given the mood around town, mutiny may yet be unavoidable. The people have little appetite for further deprivation. Least of all when it serves only to
Who could blame them?
Clive, would you, for your services to North... And unlike Philippe, well...
Na gut.
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you.
Tell me then, in the garrison.
Oversee.
All right. I may have met this Duke before, at the Remembrance Ceremony. Let's hope I didn't make a strong impression.
Halt! Oh, sorry about that. You're the dame's man, aren't you? You got some business with the captain?
No, actually. With the Duke. I was hoping I might be able to speak with him.
We're under orders not to let any civilians pass. But you should be all right. His Eminence has heard all about you and your heroics. Wait here. I'll go and ask.
So, you are the sellsword who lent his aid to the garrison. The Empire owes you a debt, and I shall see it repaid. But tell me, is it wealth that you seek, or favor?
Neither, Your Eminence. I thought only to inquire about your plan to turn Northreach into a stronghold.
Ah, I see. You are worried the expanded garrison will render your services redundant. Yet you needn't be. A proud fighting man like yourself shall always have a place here. Pride of place, in fact. For too long has the contribution of the noble soldier been under-reckoned. But no more. For it is they who shall see the Holy Empire rebuilt, beginning right here in Northreach.
Why here, Your Eminence?
The town has been fortunate enough to escape largely unscathed from the recent troubles. Her defenses are sound, and her garrison well prepared. Which is more than can be said for Oriflamme or Twinside. The Empire wants for a capital, and I believe Northreach to be the perfect place. With Caer Norvent as her citadel. Once we have seen to the refortification of both the town and the castle, we need only build a wall around both to create a city that would be the envy of the twins. Plans are already underway for the construction. Soon enough, these thralls shall learn that they are no match for the might of Sanbreque.
I fear you underestimate how dangerous these creatures are, Your Eminence. Should they return in force, you will need all the people of Northreach to come together in defense of the town. Something they may be loath to do if they've been deprived of their worldly goods.
The people will do as their leaders command. If Sanbreque is to be rebuilt, she will require a functioning government. One whose authority is beyond question. That is why this levy is necessary. So that any man who wishes to join the army might do so and be fed, outfitted, and paid as befits a defender of the Empire. And yet there are those who persist in peddling the treasonous lie that I seek to steal from the people and drive them from their homes.
I suspect they're afraid of losing what little they have left.
Precisely. The common folk have little and less, And you mean to deprive them of even that? You would sow the seeds of your new empire in your own salted earth.
Sabine, we have discussed this.
Yes, and I told you then how putting the empire before her citizens would lead only to revolt.
Without an empire, there are no citizens.
And in yours, there will be only beggars. Is that what Griga wills for her people?
Do not take her name in vain, Sabine.
I'll come back later. A citizens' revolt. I wonder what the people really think of the Duke's plan. It wouldn't hurt to ask them, I suppose. Let's begin with those on the other side of the wall.
I left everything.
As long as you remain.
You needn't fret. The creatures...
All right, there.
Just your opinion, I wondered what you thought.
Not much. It's thanks to nobles like him that we had to set up shop there. Now he's trying... If the Dane.
A question. What do you think of the Duke?
You build a life for yourself somewhere, earning for some noble to turn up and tell you you've got to hand it all over to him. If he thinks his name and his chains give him the right to empty our purses, we'll do whatever it takes.
Jedenfalls nichts Gutes.
Is as...
I've been...
Nothing good going around acting like he owns the place, and with hardly a word.
I take it you'd rather...
As far as I'm just need.
Well, the people seem united enough. What about the soldiers?
Those things I said before.
Excuse me, do you have a... I wondered if you'd mind...
Well, he's made a lot of enemies coming in. I mean, look, the trade thing. And if...
Oh.
Sabine, you are embarrassing me.
You're embarrassing yourself.
As long as you remain.
You're the one who's took...
On the Dame's behalf, yes. What do you think of his plan?
I'm a soldier, mate. He tells me, well, listen, I've got nothing but respect for the Dame. But I've got a family. That's where my loyalties lie. Not with the town or the Empire, but with my wife and children. If the Duke can get us the men and the equipment we need to fight off those blue-skinned bastards...
I hear the Duke of Oriflamme plans. Do you think that's a good idea?
It's not for me to say. All I know is that unless the Emperor orders me otherwise, His Eminence's... Look, no one likes all these taxes and tariffs, but empires don't. Once Sandbreaker...
Let's see what Philippe makes of all this.
Ach, da ist er.
Captain.
For you, sir? Thank you for last time. How can I help you?
I wanted to ask you about, do you intend to go along?
But to tell you the truth, I mean, it's my sworn duty as a captain of the Imperial Army to obey his orders.
Philippe, I remember you saying that you became a soldier to protect the people.
That's right.
Well, she doesn't agree with the Duke's orders either.
Thank you, Clive. Protecting the people I love is what matters. Well, duty calls. Thanks again.
It seems Philippe wants to do the right thing at least. I expect Isabel will be pleased to hear that, if nothing else.
Ah, Clive, were you able to speak?
I was.
So Northreach is to be a fortress after all. Well, it will certainly help to hold back the thralls. There's no denying that. Though I doubt it will come as much consolation to the townspeople whose worldly goods are confiscated to pay for it. They deserve to be heard, Clive. To have a say in this new empire the Duke means to build.
Sadly, His Eminence values their obedience more than their opinions, and hopes to reassert the authority of the state. I fear he sees the people as mere pawns on his chessboard to be sacrificed for the greater good. Needless to say, they themselves are of a different opinion, and would rather their destinies were in your hands. The soldiers, meanwhile, are content to follow their orders. And not just because of the Duke's rank, but because of his vision.
I thought as much. Had I sworn to protect Sanbreque, I dare say I too would want nothing more than to see it rise from the ashes. Thank you for trying. But the battle is lost.
I don't know about that.
What happened to your uniform?
I handed it in, along with my resignation. Told the lads I wished them well, but that I owe it to those I love to call it a day.
But why?
Because I realize what really matters to me. Not following some nobleman's orders for the sake of it, but protecting what I care about. Protecting Northreach. I honestly don't know when those monsters will return, but I'm certain they're not finished with us yet. And when they do come back, we need to be ready for them. We need to stand together, all of us. And with you to lead us, milady, I reckon we can do it. It was you who finally convinced me, Clive. There's no point following orders if they go against everything you believe.
Indeed.
All of us, standing together. That has always been Northreach's best hope, and one which still lies within our grasp. We have only to turn our attentions to the true enemy. Thank you, Philippe, for showing me what I must do.
Anything for you, milady. Speaking of standing together, would you mind if I borrowed a few of the lads from the Vale to help keep watch around the town? I fear His Eminence has loftier tasks in mind for the guard.
Not at all. Be my guest.
Wouldn't be the first time.
There may be hope for Northreach yet. Especially with men like you and Philippe to champion our cause. I, for my part, shall continue to work upon the Duke, in the stubborn belief that I might still tempt him into joining hands. But I suspect I shall have to call upon your aid again. Until then, Clive.
Until then.
So, was gibt's noch für eine Mission? Zu viele. Viel zu viele.
What's happened? The guards at the gate are right on.
Ah, Clive.
That is good news.
Yes, but I still have much and more to prepare. You couldn't do me a quick favor. Nothing. I just need to find out exactly.
All right.
Thanks, Clive.
Don't blame yourself, El. I know, but no buts about.
Is something wrong?
Vonnie came to give me a message from our intermediate. The talks with the Republican army have fallen through. They've reached an agreement with the Silk, though prices have fallen of late. But the consortium offered double what we did, and the army jumped.
You had no opportunity to make a counter.
None at all. And we were so close.
El, what's happened? I saw Vonnie leaving. She didn't look happy.
And with good reason.
But I thought we were the only ones the Fist were speaking to about the bearers. How did the consortium even find out?
It's not so surprising. They have ears all over the Republic. This isn't over. The consortium will have to sell these bearers. I'm going to Randalar myself.
Alone?
Are you offering to be my bodyguard? How kind. Meet me at the checkpoint near the capital gate. You go to Cashlock, Theo, and get everything ready. We've waited far, even if I fail to free these bearers. Someone needs to prepare.
Oh, and that's me, is it? Well, it looks like I'm following orders till she gets back from meeting the Silver Peak Consortium, who've been doing their best to undermine our scheme. She'll never join them after this, surely. No, she said it herself. She still has plans for Cashlock, even if this one falls through. She means to stay with us, then. I can't say I'm not happy to hear it, but... is this what she really wants?
Yeah.
You're right. And if El's off, so I bid you, I'll gather... You go to Ran...
I'll do my best. All right. To Randalar, then. I'd better not keep Eloise waiting.
What I wouldn't give for a hot meal. When are they gonna let us through? Fly, Ambrosia.
Time to fight.
Safe.
hope I didn't keep you waiting. Did you arrange to speak with the consort?
Here they are now.
You wished to consult with...
I did. We had all but
You misunderstood. It was only our... And so we resumed.
I did not hesitate. I am simply not inclined to make such decisions without first... But what is done is done. Come then. How much...
Alas, you are too late yet again. We rarely take on such unconventional merchandise without a purchaser in mind. The bearers belong to him now.
Who is your buyer?
A trader from across the wall. A most demanding fellow, if it's any consolation. He insisted the bearers be fed, dressed, even given... That's what you get when you deal with Continental.
I wouldn't know.
Oh yes, the culture on the continent is quite different to ours. They pay good money for bearers not fit for the knacker's yard, and treat them like kings. But as long as they pay...
That does sound unusual. No matter then. If they've already left our shores, there's little that can be done. Allow me to withdraw my interest. And with it, my interest in joining your organization.
My associates will be sorry to hear that.
I'm sorry you weren't able to save them.
As am I. But I only have myself to blame. He was right, you see. The Silver Peak Consortium did intend to buy those bearers before I did. Their representative hinted at a possible purchase when he came to recruit me. I feigned interest in joining them in the hope he might be encouraged to tell me more. And he did just that. As soon as he left, I sent my own offer to Randalar.
So you never...
No. I entertained the Consortium's proposal solely so I could let... I was a fool to think they wouldn't find out. I knew exactly who...
You tried.
I did. And if what he said was true, the bearers are to be well treated. Which is something, at least. But they deserved more. I wanted so badly to see them freed.
Eloise! Eloise! Word from Cashlock. The village is under attack. A pack of beasts have come down from the mountains, and there's a dragon at its head. Theo and the others are trying to hold them off as best they can. They need help, and fast.
Theo!
I'll go on ahead.
Thank you, Clive. I'll gather some men and join you there.
Hold on, Theo. I'm coming.
Oha, wieso so weit? Wo muss ich denn am besten hin? Ich glaube, wenn ich da oben bin... Gehen wir mal dahin erstmal. Ambrosia! Los geht's! Wenn ich jetzt oben entlang laufe, komme ich nicht runter. Also hier runter. Boah, ziemlich eng. Hey, wo ist hier der Goblin-Jäger?
No need to ride from here. Where's Theodore?
Upriver! He led the dragon. We just have to...
I can do better than that. Fly, Ambrosia. Time to fight. Where are you, Theo? turned. I can't waste any more time. I need to find Theodore before that dragon does.
Und da ist der Drache.
Looks like it's found me. This thing's turned as well. This isn't going to be easy.
Gleich haben wir es. Das war jetzt gerade knapp. Das war wirklich knapp ganz am Ende. Aber wo ist Theodore?
Clive? Theodore, you had me worried for...
Oh nein.
We have to get you out of here. I think it might be a little too late.
Och nö,
for that.
scheiße.
Bearer or no, there's only so much ether a man can take. And that Drake just wouldn't let me leave. You have my thanks, Sid, for finishing what I could not. For keeping Elle's dream.
Oh nein.
Theodore!
Nee, ne? Jetzt ist er akassisch geworden. Oh nein, jetzt ist sie auch noch da.
Stay back, Eloise! He's turned. And so will you! Theodore. Take care of my sister. Theodore, wait. Goodbye, Elle.
Er will sich selbst richten. Oh nein.
Thank you, Clive. I think I'll be all right now.
That was true bravery he showed. Leading the dragon away from the village like that. His first instinct was always to protect people. To put others' well-being before his own.
And now he's gone. Because I sent him to that place, against his will.
It wasn't against his will. He was ready to do whatever it took to show you he could stand on his own. So that you would finally be free to live your own life.
To live my own life? He never could come to terms with the choice I made.
What exactly happened? You once told me Theo was the first bearer you ever helped.
We grew up in Canva. We were born to one of the great trading houses. And I was chosen to inherit the family business. I had my father's head for figures, you see. Theo did not. While I studied the art of commerce, he played at soldiers instead. A late bloomer, in more ways than one. For unlike most bearers, it wasn't until his 15th summer that his powers awakened. My parents tried to drive him out of the house and into the care of the constables. But before they could, I took him into mine.
Theo told me something else. He clearly admired your devotion to the cause of freeing others like him from slavery. But he said you deserved a better life than this. He wanted to free you from what he called your bonds, just as you freed him from his.
I would be lying if I said I had not wondered from time to time how much easier my life might have been if I had allowed Theo to be taken and devoted myself to the family business instead. But I have never regretted the decision I made. Being with my brother meant more to me than tradition or reputation. I only had to look at him to remind myself of that night and the choice I made and the fact that I would make the same choice again in a heartbeat. He was never a burden. How could he even think that? If anything, I was the one who weighed him down.
You weren't, Eloise. He said it himself, that he had always been grateful to you for saving him, and that he wanted to repay you by letting you live the life you were denied. Neither you nor Theo weighed each other down. You loved one another. You did whatever was necessary to continue living your lives together, and you always would have.
You're right. All I ever wanted, all I ever did, it was so we could be together. Oh, Theo, why did you have to...
I know Theo wanted me to move on, but I'm staying here at the Crimson Caravans to continue our work. We can make a difference here. We can help people, save them. I need nothing more from life than that. So I'll carry on doing what we do, ensuring that goods, people, bearers get where they need to be, bringing smiles to people's faces just like we always have, and to Theo's. Wherever he is. This is the life I have chosen. The life I will always choose.
I've made a choice of my own, to continue helping you however I can. Whenever you need it.
Thank you, Clive. Let's go on together then. For Theodore.
Eloise isn't the type to give up.
Maybe not.
Boah, da sind noch zwei andere. Zu viele Nebenmissionen hier.
And lumps, the lot of them.
Unten.
How was she? The Enterprise, I mean. Ah, Sid! Wasn't expecting you back so soon. So, is it good news or bad?
Good, thankfully. Here.
Ah, that's brilliant! Thanks a blimmin' million! I'll fit 'em to the smelter right away!
I present to you the Telemon Furnace! Ain't bad, is she?
She's a beauty.
You saved my bacon again, Sid, and I ain't about to let your good deed go unrewarded.
It's fine, really. My bag's flexible enough already.
Oh, don't say that. I'm sure I can make a few improvements to it yet.
You could just buy me a bigger...
How about that clasp? Looks a bit stiff. Reckon you could loosen it up and make some more room? And I reckon I know how. With a new alloy we've been working on. The Telemon Furnace was just what we needed to perfect it. It's a metal, see? So it's lovely and strong, but it's also, well, stretchy, if you can believe it.
Stretchy metal. Well, if you insist.
That is the spirit. You'll love it, I promise.
Tasche erweitert also wieder.
So, thank you, or what?
Shh. And I wanted to get some practice in. Can't think of any. Maybe even one day.
Well, hardly.
Heiltränke auf 8, Supertränke auf 5, statt auf 4 und Stärke und Steinhaut-Tonikum auf 4. Interessant. Cool.
Then again, why settle for low-born child?
Oh, I wasn't expecting you.
Ah, da fehlt ein bisschen. Ohrringe des flinken Schützen bekommt man als nächstes. Und dann Genji-Handschuhe. Boah, auf die Genji-Handschuhe würde ich mich schon freuen. Ich bin mal gespannt, was diesmal die Genji-Handschuhe
Best of luck out there, Sid.
bringen. Naja, so. Ich würde mal sagen, wird Zeit, Feierabend zu machen für heute. So. Vielen Dank noch fürs Zuschauen und dann sage ich mal bis zum nächsten Mal. Einen schönen Tag noch.